Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. The ancient Israelites, also known as Hebrews, and today identified as Jews, are the focus of this special video, responding to requests from many of our subscribers. Today, we will delve into the ethnicity and physical traits of the ancient Israelites, exploring a topic that intrigues and fascinates many. What did the members of the 12 tribes of Israel actually look like? Were they different from how we imagine them today? This is a mystery that spans centuries and sparks countless theories and debates. Don't forget to leave your like, share your thoughts in the comments after watching, and get ready for another engaging video. The ethnic and racial appearance of the 12 tribes of Israel. The Holy Scriptures, the Bible, contain detailed accounts of the origin of nearly all the peoples of humanity, with their lineages traced in the book of Genesis, chapter 10. In this chapter, it is revealed that in ancient times, 3 lineages derived from Noah gave rise to all peoples: the Semites, the Hamites, and the Japhethites. Many other peoples emerged from the mixing of these 3 lineages. The ancient Israelites, like all other peoples, descended from one of these lineages, specifically the lineage of Shem. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were direct descendants of Shem, belonging to the group of Semitic peoples. But who were these Semitic peoples from whom Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob descended? These patriarchs traced their ancestry primarily to the Chaldeans and the Arameans. Have you heard of the Chaldeans, who inhabited the region corresponding to modern-day Iraq, and the Arameans, who occupied the territory of present-day Syria? Both the Arameans and the Chaldeans were from the Middle East and belonged to the Semitic ethnicity, forming an integral part of this rich cultural and ethnic heritage. The Chaldeans originated from the region that is now Iraq. Today's Iraqi Arabs also descend from the Chaldeans, the Akkadians, and other ancient peoples. Among these peoples was Abraham, who, according to the scriptures, came from the lineage of Arphaxad, one of Shem's descendants. Abraham was the son of Terah, the grandson of Nahor, and traced his ancestry to Arphaxad, a direct descendant of Shem. The Arameans, who also contributed to the formation of the Israelites, were descendants of Aram, another Semitic people who played an important role in the origin of the Israelites. Thus, both the Chaldeans and the Arameans were fundamental in the ethnic composition of the ancient Israelites. Aram was one of the sons of Shem, and thus a Semitic people. The Holy Scriptures inform us that Sarah, Abraham's wife, was also his half-sister. We know that Sarah was Chaldean, a descendant of Shem, which demonstrates that it was common among the Semites to marry close relatives, such as cousins or even half-siblings. Regarding the origins of Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, son of Abraham and Sarah, her lineage is also Semitic. Rebekah came from the land of Aram, which suggests that her mother and grandmother were Arameans. She was a descendant of Nahor, being the daughter of Bethuel and the granddaughter of Nahor and Milcah. For those unfamiliar, Milcah was one of the daughters of Haran, Abraham's brother. Abraham also had a brother named Haran, which means that Rebekah, in addition to being an Aramean woman, also had Chaldean ancestry through her grandfather, who was Chaldean and Abraham's brother. The scriptures tell us that Jacob married 2 wives in the land of Aram, 2 Aramean women. One of them was Leah, also known as Leah, daughter of Laban, granddaughter of Bethuel and great-granddaughter of Nahor. Rachel, Leah's sister and also Jacob's wife, was likewise of Aramean origin, descended from the Aramean people. Like Leah, Rachel also had Chaldean ancestry through Nahor and Bethuel, making her a descendant of both the Arameans, a Semitic people, and the Chaldeans, also of Semitic origin. There are people on the internet, particularly on YouTube, who, due to a lack of in-depth knowledge about the ethnicities of Middle Eastern peoples, claim that the Israelites were a blonde, blue-eyed people, which has no relation to the people of Israel or the Semitic peoples. Others even say that the ancient Israelites were red-haired, arguing that some descendants of Esau, because he is described as red-haired, would also have this characteristic. However, this is a misunderstanding, as the translation of the term describing Esau as red-haired is inaccurate. The correct term would be ruddy or flushed, referring to the complexion of the skin, not the color of the hair. The term used in Genesis 25:25 is the Hebrew word admoni. This term does not mean red-haired with red hair, but rather ruddy or flushed, referring to the skin tone. For example, when Esau was born, his skin was reddish, likely due to the stress of birth, as happens with many babies who appear flushed when they are born. Therefore, Esau was not red-haired with red hair. This is a mistranslation of the original Hebrew text. Biblically, red-haired people are not descendants of Esau nor of Shem, and do not belong to the Semitic peoples. Red-haired individuals are generally associated with the Ashkenazi people, descendants of Japheth. Therefore, the Israelites in ancient times were not red-haired, blonde, or blue-eyed. In addition to the mistaken theory that the Israelites were red-haired and blonde with blue eyes, there is also a theory gaining popularity today that the ancient Israelites were a black people. However, this theory also does not hold up. If you ask any Jew or Israelite, including Ethiopian Jews who are black, they will tell you that they are descendants of Cush. Black people are considered descendants of Cush, and any rabbi would confirm this with the same words. Cush is recognized as the ancestor of various African peoples and has always been biblically associated with the peoples of Ethiopia, Eritrea, Nubia, and Somalia. The term Cush is commonly related to dark skin, which gave rise to the African peoples. Therefore, the Israelites were not Cushites, as they were neither black nor blonde with blue eyes. The ancient Israelites, like other Semitic peoples, had their own skin color and distinctive traits, such as the shape of the nose, type of hair, and eye color, among other phenotypic aspects characteristic of the Semitic ethnicity. The Semites, including Jews, Arabs, Syrians, Iraqis, and others, possess a light skin tone that tans easily in the sun, acquiring a bronzed appearance. They generally have wavy hair, an arched or hooked nose, with many Jews having a more prominent and arched nose, intense eyes, and elongated faces. These peoples are descendants of Shem, the son of Noah, from whom all these Semitic groups originated. For example, if you observe or speak with someone from the Middle East, or even search for photos of people from that region on Google, you'll notice that the Semites share a common ethnic pattern. If you have friends of Arab origin, whether from Lebanon, Syria, or any other region, you'll notice that the Semites have similar characteristics, such as the tanned skin tone, the arched nose, and the elongated face. These traits are so distinctive that it is possible to identify a Semitic person just by appearance. Indeed, during the regime that tragically exterminated many Jews, these Semitic characteristics, which also resemble those of Arabs, were used to identify and persecute them. Now, speaking about the ethnicity and phenotype of the ancient Israelites, specifically the 12 tribes of Israel, we can start with Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, also called Israel. It is likely that Reuben married a woman from the land of Aram, or possibly a Hyksos woman from the land of Egypt. There isn't much detailed information about whom Reuben married. The Bible only informs us that he had several children with this woman, and it is likely that she was also Semitic. This assumption is based on the fact that Reuben slept with one of his father Jacob's concubines, and he could have been severely punished according to ancient Semitic laws. If Reuben had married a Canaanite woman or one of Egyptian origin, this would have greatly displeased Jacob, who was already disappointed with him because of the incident with Bilhah. Therefore, it is highly probable that Reuben married a woman of Semitic origin to please his father Jacob. Similarly, Simeon likely married a woman from the land of Aram, or perhaps a woman from an ancient Hyksos tribe of Egypt. Now, speaking about Levi, who founded the tribe of Levi within the Israelite people, ancient Jewish traditions, particularly in the Talmud, inform us that Levi married a woman from Mesopotamia. It is uncertain whether this woman was from Aram, Assyria, or Chaldea, but these traditions assert that she was a descendant of Shem, from Mesopotamia. The only information mentioned about Levi's wife in these Talmudic Jewish traditions is that her name was Adina, and she was from the land of Mesopotamia, belonging to the lineage of Shem. On the other hand, regarding Judah, who founded the most important tribe of the people of Israel, the Jews, it is said that he initially married a Canaanite woman, not a Semitic one. With this Canaanite woman, Judah had 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. These sons were born from his marriage to his Canaanite wife. We know that God intervened because of the wickedness of Judah's sons, eliminating the first 2, leaving only Shelah. It is mentioned that Judah married Tamar, who became his second wife and the mother of his twin sons. Tamar's origin is somewhat mysterious, as the biblical text emphasizes that Judah's first wife was a Canaanite, but does not specify Tamar's origin. It is unclear whether Tamar was Aramean, Edomite, or even Ishmaelite. Some scholars suggest that Tamar could have been Ishmaelite, considering that the Arabs, like the Jews and other Semitic peoples, were nomads and roamed throughout the Middle East. Therefore, some believe that Tamar was an Arab woman. As for the wives of Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, it is likely that these sons of Jacob married women from the land of Egypt, possibly Egyptians or Hyksos, as the Hyksos were present in Egypt at that time. Although the Bible does not explicitly mention who these wives were, it can be said that it is very likely that they were of Hyksos origin or perhaps Syrian. There is a Jewish tradition in the Talmud that states that Levi's wife had a sister who married Issachar, suggesting that Issachar married a woman from Mesopotamia. It is also speculated that the wives of Zebulun and Benjamin could have been of Kenite origin, meaning descendants of the Kenites. We know that Joseph's wife was named Asenath, an Egyptian woman, and there is no evidence that she was of Hyksos descent, although this is a possibility due to the presence of the Hyksos in the region. Asenath's father, in turn, was a priest from the city of On. Some suggest that Asenath's father was a priest of the god Seth, as the Hyksos, who ruled Egypt, venerated Seth while the native Egyptians worshipped Osiris and Ra. The Hyksos associated the Semitic god El and other Semitic deities with the Egyptian god Seth, although this connection is more speculative. The most concrete fact is that Asenath was Egyptian and had two sons with Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim. These sons represented a combination of Egyptians and Semites, resulting in a brown skin tone rather than black or entirely Semitic. In ancient times, the Israelites were predominantly Semitic, with a skin tone that could be described as yellowish, referring here to their Semitic appearance. Thus, the Israelite tribes had a yellowish skin tone, while tribes like Manasseh and Ephraim, born from the mixture between Egyptians and Semites, displayed a brown skin tone. I hope you enjoyed this video. May God bless you, and see you soon.